You just have to press, no, it's not me. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay,
All right, we're live.
all right. Okay, good morning to everybody out there. Welcome to the mid-month meeting. This morning, we're gonna be changing a couple little things on the agenda just as far as the places and their new business. We're gonna be moving the veterans up to number 1. Then there's some additions on there. But before we get started, we'll call to order. It is 9:10. And ask Lorelei to help us out with the word of prayer.
Okay, my phone says it's 9 a.m.
It's fine. 9
What are-
a.m. Fine.
Okay, 9 a.m. then.
Good. And then I'm just gonna pray in my mind.
Okay.
So bear with me, thank you.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Lorelei, for that prayer. Is there any additions to the agenda?
Yes.
What do you
We
got?
have an amended resolution. The resolution number 24-189A. And TIPO fees.
Okay. We'll move those down to the bottom. So the TIPO fees will be number 7,
Yes,
and then the resolution that
it's
is being
due at
presented.
noon, so we need to get it done right away. We're gonna move that to number 2.
Okay, so we'll move that resolution 24-189 to number 2 under new business. A. All right, is there a motion to approve the agenda if there's no other add-ons?
Motion to approve the agenda.
All right, Coley made a motion, seconded by Rona. Kenny's in at 9:03. Second, anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, moving on into 500. Moving on to reading of the minutes for October 7th.
Oh, was we gonna do his?
Yeah, we're just gonna fly through those
Oh, okay.
reading minutes.
Okay.
So, okay, so Rona's making a motion to approve October 24th regular tribal council meeting minutes, seconded by
I'll second.
Teresa. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, carried. 600, right?
600.
Okay, moving on to October 9th, 2024, swearing-in ceremony and officers' appointments. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Move it, Mr. Vice Chair.
Moved by Kenny, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Coley. Any abstentions? Anybody oppose? Hearing none, motion carried. Moving on to October 10th, 2024, CEO report meeting minutes. Is there a motion for them?
Motion to approve.
Coley made a motion, Second by Rona. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Motion carried 6-0. All right, moving on to October 15th, 2024, Educare Program Evaluation Meeting Minutes. Is there a motion?
Move it, Mr. Vice Chair.
Motion by Kenny, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Coley. Any abstentions? Hearing none. Motion carried. No opposed. Okay, October 16th, 2024, General Council meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Coley, is there a second? Second by Rona. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried 6-0. Okay, we got,
Veterans.
so there isn't nothing for the ratifications of 5 signature?
No 5 signatures.
No 5 signature, okay. Going into new business, would be moving Gordon up to number 1, 2024, Veterans Day Powwow, because Gordon has another meeting to get to. So Gordon, the floor's all yours.
Morning, everybody. Well, I just seen the agenda this morning. I checked my emails before I left. And, seen that the Veterans Powwow was on there. All I was asking the council was to assist us in paying for the powwow. I gave Teresa a list of how much it was going to cost, and I didn't bring that with me. But that's all I was asking. And there was another thing that I was talking about, that trip to California, and we're trying to raise money anyway. We got some blankets that we're trying to raffle off, so it's not a big burden on the council for what we were trying to ask, but we're still trying to take care of that issue. But the powwow is the main thing right now. Is I don't know, Teresa, did you bring that paper with you?
I got the powwow stuff in here.
Oh,
So it's in all their pockets.
and the head dancer and head woman was we're trying to get these younger kids involved, and we got the high school kids. Randy knows who they are. I don't know what kids they were, but they're all upcoming dancers and stuff, and they do dance, so we're gonna have them be head man, head woman. So
Oh, okay.
just
Get
trying
some
to get those
young ones in there.
trying to
That's
get those
good.
younger ones involved with the powwows and stuff. So I don't know who they are. Randy knows. They're all like juniors and seniors, so we're just trying to get those younger kids involved more. So
Or like,
Gordon, I just have a comment, being I'm old. But you came to the office with this budget in July, and I told you to meet with the treasurer and the CFO and put this in your next fiscal year budget. Because you're full-time, so you should be taking care of this. This should have been in your budget. Because you know you have this powwow every year.
yeah,
Why didn't that happen?
I probably just too much things going on at that time and dealing with everything going on. I probably just forgot about it.
Because I don't know where we're going to get this money. We barely approved a balanced budget.
This is for what?
He's just now bringing the Veterans Powwow budget to the council. When I just told him, I asked him to do this in July. Bring it to the treasurer, meet with the CFO, build it into his next fiscal year's budget. I told him that in July. He's just now bringing it. And it wasn't built into his budget. And he's full-time employee. So I don't know if we have money. We'll have to ask the treasurer and the CFO, do we have this money?
How much are you talking about?
Like 6,000. So.
Well, I'll make a motion, we, approve the 6,000, have it come out of the travel donations. Cause we can always put more money in there.
Second. Just to get a little background on it, during the budget, I did mention this to Gordon too before, and previous leadership did not include our CAO in budget preparation, which included the veterans program. So things were done without their involvement or time given. So for sure next year, Gordon, make sure, you get with Linnell, your supervisor, and get this in there. But I just want to give a little background on it and let you guys know that they weren't involved in it previous. Didn't include a few of the programs in preparing their own budget, so.
Okay, so we kind of just had a lack of communication.
Yeah.
Across the board, okay.
So,
There has been a motion made by Eric and a second by Roman.
Good comment.
And we're in discussion and Cole has got the floor.
Treasurer and the other administration, can you guys just, make that budget for our powwows and put that, so
Yeah.
it's there? So
we're
next year
working on
it's
it as
there.
soon as we
Okay.
get those bylaws and everything.
Get everything.
That's what we want to try to do is get
Every
everybody,
powwow
yeah,
be budgeted and-
cover every powwow, their
Great.
budget, their limit.
Wasn't that the committee that
Yeah,
we
the
were supposed to
committee
come up
is
with?
still being formed.
Council, I have a comment.
Go ahead, Linnell.
Okay, so it was mentioned to Gordon, in the last several months to make sure to include powwow, the veterans powwow in his budget, but again, it was probably miscommunication all around. So we'll make sure that's included this coming year. Gordon, for the trip that's coming up in November, did you get, administration was gonna help you, gather everything. You were supposed to get a budget together, so that way that could be presented to the table. Were you able to get that flyer and whatever other information you were gonna gather?
I just got that flyer Friday,
Okay,
and then I'm trying to get everything together real quick, and I got Randy's supposed to be helping me on that.
okay. Well, whatever you guys can gather, I think what the table wanted, because it wasn't put on the last treasurer's report, we just need some background information. We needed the veterans to come up with a budget. That way we can put everything, package it all together, and then present it to the table. So as soon as you and Randy can get that to our office, then we can help you guys get that prepared.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's just for the, how many veterans are gonna go?
7.
7 veterans? And then that's to California
Yeah.
for US Coast Guard.
Yeah, it's a Native American. Oh shucks, I can't remember what it is now. We're honoring all Native veterans.
Okay. So that, and then, so it'd be flying, possibly driving, right?
Possibly driving.
So how they're set up, and I'm just kind of passing this on to you now. So they'll usually do like, if you fly and you drive, it's the same amount.
Yeah,
They'll pay up to like what it would cost to fly there.
because I got to meet with Jack and Emma. I was trying to fly them out, and then everybody else drive.
Okay.
Probably fly with Jack and them, because I don't know exactly how they're going to have it set up.
Okay.
So Dusty said he'll drive.
All right.
So
Well,
then-
maybe on your way out of town, maybe you could just drop that flyer off, and then we'll make a copy of it here. And then that way we can start kind of getting rolling. But all we really needed was 7, the number of vets, that flyer, so we have backup for it. And then we can start looking at the arrangements and stuff like that. So before you leave town today, I guess just run that flyer up. We'll make a copy, and then you can kind of get that rolling anyway. Lorelai.
The tribal council has a donation policy. When they're requesting for travel, the policy requires that you do some fundraising and submit your fundraising flyers. And then the council considers match.
Yeah.
And we held our tribal members to that. And so you're coming in here, this wasn't in your budget. And you're coming in here, and what fundraising have you been doing?
we're going to be raffling the star quilts out. We got 2 star quilts that we're going to raffle out.
Okay, so when is this travel?
The 8th, it starts on the 18th of November.
So if you're flying somebody, the airline tickets are very expensive.
Oh, we can drive. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
They're just trying to fly Emma and Jack. They've agreed to go because it's kind of a
I thought you said you were flying with them.
Yeah, I mean, I
chaperone them. They both barely get around, so
I'm just looking at, we barely approved a budget this year. So when we say we're approving something, where's it gonna come from?
yeah.
Because by constitution, we're required to spend within our budget.
But right now, treasure, we don't have our
I'm not the treasurer.
Jesus. Right now, we don't have all the information. So we don't even know how much this trip's going to cost. So that's what we're asking Gordon to do is provide the information. We'll look up the numbers, crunch some numbers, start looking at some dates and times and gather all that. And then we're going to probably be back here and then we'll figure that part out. So so Gordon's got some homework to do.
yeah.
And then once he gets that homework done, then we can see where this is going to go or how this is going to go.
You say November 18th?
Yep.
Yeah.
November 18th. So just drop the flyer off and we'll start there. And then Linnell's out of the office right now, but just bring it up to drop it off Tammy or Annabeth.
Yeah, I just run down the office and get it and then drop it off.
Okay, that sounds
You
good.
can give it to Tyresha. Tyresha's aware of this trip coming up, so I asked her to help prepare everything and get a breakdown together. So we're just waiting for that information, Gordon.
Okay, I'll just drop it off with her.
All right, back to the original thing here, original point of order. We had Eric made a motion, second by Rona, to approve the Veterans Day powwow in the amount of $6,000. Is there any abstentions? Anybody oppose? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you very much, Gordon. And
Yeah.
I look forward to getting the information from you. Have
Yeah,
a good day and
Go
travel
get that
safe.
right now.
Are we gonna be a week up? Week up? November
18th,
when's the power gonna be? 9th?
November 9th, Saturday. It's in the packet there. There's a little breakdown of it.
25 days, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Looks like we got Brittany on.
Moving on to, we're moving the resolution. It's kind of stated for those of you that were able to hear it, the resolution up to number 2 item on new business. And the reason why we're doing that is because this resolution is due by noon. This is the original resolution. There has been some changes in there, so it'll be resolution 24-189A. It says FY25 game, Nebraska game, Parks Commission and Land and Water Conservation Fund 4, all playing together parks project.
Brittany, can you, tell us the difference, or what's the amendment?
Good morning, council. We are going to amend the resolution. The map ended up being changed from the funder itself. Originally, we had put the CCP grant in there for a match. Come to find out on Friday that they had emailed Christine and let her know that that CCP match that we have already with the tribe is no longer, isn't applicable, I guess. That's my understanding of it. So we switched gears and we are actually just going to be using the Winnebago Community Development Corporation Fund as a match in the amount of $175,262. So that's the only thing that we are amending is switching the match from the GCP to the WCDF fund.
I have a question.
All right. Is that all you had, Ron? Lorelei.
Brittany, I have a question. So did the Ho-Chunk Community Development Corporation, the board did they approve this?
Christine, can you, give a little insight on that?
Yeah. Did you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you
Okay,
hear?
hi, everybody. So right now, the community development, hopefully did not approve this one. I let them know that HCD, we development fund that, how those are one of the number one things that I'm continuing to raise money for as the strength within our community, because that fund is within the people. But as of right now,
Christine, you're cutting out. Sound like you're underwater in a tunnel. Oh, we lost you.
I think we got to make sure that that board approved that to be a match. The 175,000.
Okay, Britt, do you have any other additional information that would help it out?
As far as I know, I think that when it comes to the board, I think it's just more of amending what they requested before and just fixing the amount on it. But I mean, that's what I've known previously with one of the community funds, is just when they presented it to the board that it's just amending that amount for them to adjust it to the dollar amount that we're requesting for now.
Okay, because this resolution was at the table before and now it's back again just for that change
Yeah,
of the dollar figure.
yeah, dollar figure for the Nebraska Game and Parks grant that we're requesting for, but yeah, just from my understanding, it's just for the Nebraska Game and Parks one that we're letting them know that we're changing our match to the Winnebago Community Development Fund match. So this one here is separate from that.
And so all entities that are involved in this are okay with this change? Do you know of? And we're kind of
That's
taking,
what I'm thinking of Christine, because she's on the board.
hello, can you guys hear me?
yeah, okay,
Okay, sorry. Yeah, the WCDF board is aware of this change and, again, it's a one-to-one match, so, Nebraska Game and Parks has already changed to Winnebago. They like our project, they've taken pictures of the park project. And once we submit this, on the resolution, we'll know in January if it will work. But it sounds really strong that we're gonna get funded.
okay, so this isn't just or is this the one you're talking about putting a playground out by the 12-plex, Kelly and, that one?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yes, this is part of that. We just need additional funding.
okay.
Well, Christine, my question is, did the Winnebago Community Development Corporation's board approve this?
No, but the application is ready to go to the board, but we just need this amendment in order to have our package complete for that application. And so let's say if it's approved and then in January we get award for Game and Parks, then that project will be able to be completely funded, meaning all three parks. If not, then we'll just continue to search for additional 400,000 to complete that.
All right, you're starting to kind of cut out again.
Okay, sorry.
So we're passing a resolution hoping that your board is gonna go along with this.
Yeah, we have the funds, and I actually met with the board, we had a meeting, and so they know that this application is coming down the pipeline, so you could look at it as a pledge, you could add the word pledge on there, but if this is awarded, then we'll be able to move that 3 parks project forward. But if not, then we'll continue to search for 400,000 for that parks project.
I think she's talking about the Nebraska game and park separate from the WCDF match funds. Is that what you're asking for, Lorelei?
I want to be clear on this. All the match were they approved before we approve a resolution to put in for it. It's the Winnebago tribe's
Well,
name
in order
on here.
in order to submit this to the WCDF board, we need this resolution attached to our application. But as of this moment, right now, no, we have to send it to their board next, in the next step.
I would think, the planning department wrote this grant. Planning department, we're the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska, so we supersede that board, so we approving it, it should be approved pretty well, pretty good, I would think.
But they're a nonprofit 501c3, not a corporation of the tribe. That's why I'm just trying to respect their board, their process.
If we pass this resolution, when will we find out if it gets approved or not approved?
We can send you a notification within about 2 weeks when we'll get the approval.
I make a
Okay.
motion to pass resolution 24-189,
A,
180,
189A.
189A.
I have a comment. This was heavily on my mind, it is, and it has been with these parks. You could say we're duplicating services because Boys and Girls Club is a 501c2, and they have needs. They could use administration fees that are going to be taken out of this. So I think one entity needs to be handling these parks and recs for our children, and we just need to start thinking about our adults too, for parks and recs too. So one entity, so there ain't just a bunch of admin fees going all over the place to, because we're short on money anyway, as we said. So.
I hear your comment, Coley. We have a motion on the table made by Eric. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Coley. Any other discussion?
What was the motion?
It was to adopt resolution 24-189A. It's in your packet.
Okay.
It's about the parks.
Okay.
No, sorry, Aaron. Give him that so he can check it out.
Should have one over there.
All right, we got him on track. We're moving now.
Start over now.
Okay. As soon as Kenny gets done reading that, then we're gonna proceed.
Recess.
Recess till he gets done. Okay, so then,
Objections?
any objections? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. 700. 6. Boy, I'm glad we just operate as a team today.
The first motion, you said 6 and it was 5.
I mean,
Yeah, because Kenny and, yeah, okay. You got us on track though?
4, 5. And now we're 6.
Okay, we're on track though?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now the next thing under new business is we're gonna go into the tax allegation plan. So Lita is present and will be joining us at the table and good morning, Lita.
I think all I had in here was the resolution that you sent over. Yeah.
Was everybody able to review the resolution I sent over to you
It
guys?
doesn't make sense to me.
It does not make sense.
No, because you say tobacco tax, and then you list 15, 20, 40, 25, then you have OTP, other tobacco products, 100%. I don't know where those funds are. I mean, how much money are we talking here?
So the tribe has all these taxes that we collect for, and it's tobacco, OTP, sales tax, construction tax, hotel lodging, hotel fire and safety, and treble UTSA quarterly fee. Each one of those receive different amounts, and I do have the summary. I brought the summary with me. I did not send it with the.
That's why we can't understand, or I can't.
So this is my first time doing this, and so all I was asked to send over to Teresa was just the resolution.
This is my first time seeing one
Yeah,
since I've been on this council.
yeah. The last one that was done was in 2019, right?
Yeah.
So it hasn't been done for what, 5 years?
That's why none of us have seen one, so that's why it'd be good if you explain this.
Yeah. Okay. So each year the taxes fluctuate. They're pretty steady. One that really fluctuates is the construction tax. These numbers I pull off of just the previous years. The tobacco tax last year brought in $74,000. OTP brought in $4. Fuel tax brought in $177,000. Sales tax $276,000. Construction tax, this one fluctuates year to year, $229,000. That's because of the projects that we've had the previous year. But that can drop down if there's if we don't have anything going on, or if there's not anything being built. And in the construction tax, we don't receive that money until the end of each project because of change request. So we can be, they could say that there was 100,000, and say there's a change request that comes in, and it's going to be additional 30,000. So that number fluctuates. They don't know until the end of the projects. Hotel lodging tax brought in 38,000. Hotel fire and safety brought in about 6,000. Trouble UTSA brought in 7,000. And so, in looking at the old documents in the office and looking at the past resolution, each tax is broke down by percentage. So of that tobacco tax, we have the 4 different entities that were receiving it, which is a community development fund at 15%, Ho Chunk Renaissance at 20%, higher education program at 40%, and a veteran pilot program, which is something that's new, will get 25%. So the breakdown of that from last year's numbers is community development fund would receive 11,000, Ho Chunk Renaissance would do 14,000, higher education program would receive 29,000, and the veteran pilot program would receive 18,000. So I don't know if you guys want a copy of the summary.
Yes, I do.
I wonder if you need somebody to make
Yeah.
copies.
Get it to us,
Give it, just bring it back to you guys.
treasury
Yeah.
report.
Good copy. Yeah, let me see it. Karen, you want to shoot up there real quick upstairs? Just make them 9.
Make a quick comment while you're walking and before you sit down. Thanks, Lita. It's good numbers. But do you recommend these, or does the board,
It's a collaboration between myself and the commission.
the committee, the commission? Okay. I would like to see a lot more money go to the higher education program, because I'm hearing it's expensive, you know.
Oh, yeah.
UNL is expensive these days, and I mean, we got our men and women, you know, they're digging into their 401ks, you know, to support their children in college. So, well, I think I just feel that way. Should be more money should go to them to help our students out, you know.
So there was actually an increase with education, because we had 3 different plans. And I think we got the plan that did focus more heavily on education.
It's increased since the 2019.
And you'll see that with the summary. It breaks down by percentage of who's receiving what. And they increased by, I can't remember when you remember. Education program. They went up
Like by 20. 15.
Because that was our thoughts too.
Yeah. So there's 3 different taxes that are actually going.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I have a question.
And all we did was, we did was, decrease one large amount that went to Little Creek Tribal College. There's, some of them were 100%, some of them were 80%, all that, so we moved it around and we, did more to higher education and other programs within that same tax bracket.
I think in the previous years, the 2019, Little Creek was receiving about 90% of our taxes.
Yeah.
And that amount reduced down to, I want to say 3%, and then we spread that money amongst higher education, Worship Renaissance, and all the veterans program.
I have a question. Did each of these organizations or programs put in asking for a tax allocation?
They did not.
They were already existing.
So now they have to? Is that what your new policy is?
That's what we were gonna put it,
We're
because
working towards-
what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so all the tribal programs there'll be a rotation to where they can apply, because it's not like we have a big
Yeah.
tax base. So it's kind of like the top 5 go through, and then the next 5 next year, next 5 next year, and then we just rotate it. If we're able to get that process done, at least one, we don't know if it's gonna take a year or 2, 3 years or what. Thanks, Karen. And then Irita's trying to get the link. Teresa's supposed to send her the link. She has a comment on this discussion.
Got it, everything.
But if we can get it run through one time of all the people that put in for it, because I'm sure eventually everybody's gonna want to put in for it, because it'll
Thank you.
help offset their appropriations, their budget, all that stuff. So we're kind of anxious to see what that looks like and what it is. But as time goes on, that's something that the council probably needs to start thinking about is those that might not be familiar of how taxes work and then what taxes are used for, just to kind of get up to speed. So then we could look at how does this look in the future, because there's a lot of stuff that the tribe and that the tax commission has talked about. There's a lot of things that not to try to sound like a machare or anything, but there's a lot of things to tax around here, but without getting too carried away. But all that does is it helps these programs be able to build some of the stuff. And as ARPA funds dry up and go away and all that stuff, then we're able to try to see what that whole picture looks like. So I think if we get all of this stuff situated within the next 5 years, we should be rolling on track. But you got to remember, one of the parts too is we haven't had a tax director for how long was it? Since Victor headed out, Wanagita. But so we're just slowly getting up to speed on this stuff. So as Alita came on board, she had to go back through, and that's what the tax commission asked, was go back through, see all the information kind of where he left it within the office. And so she's been doing that. And then we've had, I believe it's been 5 meetings. I missed 2 of them. So that's kind of where we're at, is looking at that. The one thing that's on here is you see there's a veterans pilot program. What we're hoping to do is just get a little bit more support for the veterans in this process. And so prime example, like today, how Gordon came to the table, he shouldn't have to do that, because we would be taking care of him through the taxes. So.
Okay, so I guess at what point does the tribal members, can we recommend a tax? And in my case, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad sat here and went on about, coming across our reservation lines. And so at that time I said, and I asked him, what's the history? Who signed off so you guys would have access back in the day to bring your railroad across our reservation? And he said, I have to go back and get an answer for that. But it happened in the 1800s. And it's still not clear who signed off because there was no BIA then. And so I told him at that time that I thought the tribe needs to impose a tax on Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad for coming across our reservation. Because I'm looking at what happened in Palatine, Ohio, a year and a half ago when that train derailed, and they're still dealing with the poisons. They still haven't, the residents are still dealing with illnesses and all kinds of conditions because they don't know what spilled. And the railroad is not cooperating. So what I want the tax for is to prepare us in case there's a spill, to fund our emergency response and whatever else we have to do in the off chance there's a spill. And these lines are aging. We're seeing different reports across the country where there's a spill because the train went off the track. I don't trust Burlington Northern to keep up these tracks that cross our reservation. So I want the tax commission to impose a tax on Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad. And the intent is to put it aside for training in case of a spill and mitigation in case of a spill. And then we have tribal members that live along the tracks. And what's their protection? One family, they must have bought a big super locomotive through in July. And they didn't tell anybody about it until after the fact. And one tribal member's home, everything shook off of her shelves, things fell down. So they're coming through here with God only knows what. So to me, we need to impose a tax on them. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm asking the tax commission to pursue that. So, I know I'm on a soapbox, but.
It's okay.
But it really is, it should be done. Thank you.
So Lorelei, just so, for everything, shoot the tax commission, we have an email, shoot them, so we have that in there, so we don't forget about it.
Okay,
But shoot us just what you said,
okay,
so that way we have that in there, because what we're doing is we're trying to keep everything floating, update everything, but that's something we can go back and visit as a tax commission and see what that looks like and do a little bit of research.
okay.
So the next time we come back and visit the table, we'll all have a little bit more education on how that process would work or what it would take, so.
And I just want to end with saying thank you to the new tax commission for getting us to this point. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And at least we have a tax director.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So, you want to come up to the mic?
So previously, our roads program got a certain percentage from the fuel tax. Since Victor left, they haven't received any of those funds. And usually that goes towards helping with their day-to-day operations or their administration portion of it.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody was aware of that, but I only knew because Morgan mentioned it to me last year, maybe a couple years ago, that they haven't received any of those fuel taxes. And then
Was it in 2019 resolution? No.
I don't remember.
because I know, because I did look in Martis just to check it out and see, I know they haven't received anything as of this year, if I remember correctly. But I know that does help out with their appropriations.
If it was part of the 2019, they should have still been receiving up until
Yeah.
we get this one.
So we'll have to go back and look in and
Okay.
see if it was even on there.
Okay, yeah, because I know
'Cause we
I
just
followed up a couple
copied-
times with her and she.
Because all we did
doesn't
was copy the same
Mhm.
entities and we just changed the percentages.
see- Okay,
So if it wasn't on there, then 2019 is probably when it stopped.
wonder why it would stop.
Yeah, I don't
Because I feel like it was in the code. The only reason why Morgan and I was even aware of it is because when Mary Greers was doing her audit, she was the one who mentioned it.
I
That
don't
they're supposed to be
believe
receiving.
I don't believe the roads department wasn't reported off.
She's right. Yeah. Well, we'll check into it though.
Okay,
Just have Morgan send some stuff to Lita
okay,
on the background information on it, so then we kind of know where to start and everything.
okay.
All right, is there anything else for this tax discussion?
Well, just finally, a final plug, just as one tribal member, but I'm not a member of that program, is for the tax commission, hopefully the program, when it comes up where the programs can put in and request to be, get a tax allocation, is to consider our animal control program. To me, animal control is public health. People want to walk. We have these beautiful sidewalks that we plan for in different parts of our reservation so people can walk. We have our kids gonna start walking out to the new Boys and Girls Club when it gets built. And animal control then we don't want them getting attacked, because we have poor animal control. So animal control is an overall community-wide public health priority. It should be. So that's why I keep bringing them back in to be considered for tax allocation. Thank you.
No, that's a good one. I agree with you on that, we need to, so we need to have another meeting on just animal control itself. And that could be a part of the discussion, but there's so many pieces once you actually, and everybody thinks, hey, just hire so-and-so and have them pick up all the dogs. It's not that easy. It's not that easy when somebody comes to you and threatens that employee of saying, hey, they're going to do something to you, or somebody starts filing stuff in court. So we've kind of learned a little bit of that along the way, but I think the table needs to just schedule a meeting just with animal control and go from top to bottom of what does that look like.
Okay.
But I can try to see if the table's interested in setting a meeting up like that. The easiest way we used to catch dogs was wait at the school, because they follow all the kids in the morning to the school. And we used to catch them there.
PRD this week? Irita? Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, yeah.
So we could talk about it then too. However,
Thank you.
So is there a formal request to do that to the tax commission? Because if there was, I guess we need to be made aware.
Not yet, but we're.
Not yet, we're working on it.
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna make it so that all the programs can put in for,
Dollars.
yeah. So we're still in that process. So what Lita has brought to the table here today is tax allegation plan. Is there a motion for that?
I'll make that motion to adopt FY 25 allocation. Resolution number 2508.
All right, Teresa made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Coley. Anybody oppose?
No, not opposed. Comment.
Any abstentions? Discussion.
What you just said of the animal control, I reach on PRD tomorrow. I know it's kind of early. Can we research what kind of funds we're missing out on daily, yearly, from the state, county, whoever, to run this program?
To run that program?
Yeah. Who needs to apply for these funds? That's what we need.
Wildlife Park.
How the Omaha tribe does it, and they're I know they get like their appropriations, and then like the Walt Hill Village, they help them with funds. But usually there's no funds because I already looked before. There's a lot of training, but there's no funds. And then on the environmental health, all they get is just their vaccines, and then the spay and neuter portion of it. But they don't get no like employee funds over there.
So where do we think this would live at then? I mean, Wildlife and Parks does the animal control, but
I think we
they say
already,
they don't have enough funding.
one of our last talks when we talked about this was about like parks and hiring someone else to come in and be certified
Like
for
contract
the,
somebody
yeah.
might be the next thing. Okay. Put something together.
All right. So motion carried after. And it's 700, right, guys?
1, 2, 3, 4. No,
Six.
we don't.
Still
Oh,
6.
6.
I'm just running the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't get to say nothing. See how they muted me, membership?
Vacant chair.
Per capita, you can vote on it. We'll put you on there.
No, just cut me out today, boy. I'm not even here, guys. I'm just talking.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you for coming in.
Next one's,
And then the next one we're moving to is the turkey, 2024 turkey quotes. And Tonka, you're on the air and the floor is yours. You're muted if you can't. You unmute her again? Maybe she's in a Chungaj or something.
I think she has a mic. Actually. To call in.
Tonka, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm on the phone.
okay, we can hear you.
Do you have the turkey quote list in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, I got 3 quotes from Cisco, Fairway, and Hy-Vee. The total, if we go with Cisco, is $15,204. That includes logistics and employee meal. Fairway would be $16,900 with the logistics and the employee meal, and then Hy-Vee. It would be $19,844. And then I made some notes on the side by each vendor. Cisco has a butterball. Fairway, they didn't tell us what brand it was going to be, and Hy-Vee said it would be a probably 16-pound Hy-Vee brand.
Okay, so what one are you recommending then?
Cisco.
make a motion for Cisco.
Okay, Eric made a motion for Cisco
And that's what turkey?
turkeys, yep,
Butterball.
butterball,
Okay.
12-pound butterball turkeys in the amount of $14,304. Is there a second?
Plus
The
the,
amount,
Oh, plus the,
the
yeah,
amount would be $15,204.
and that includes staff and everything?
staff and the freezer rental or the,
Okay, so is there a second? Is that you, Rona?
yeah.
Okay, so second by Rona. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried, and that number was 15,000 what?
204.
204.
Okay,
So what, do you have a flyer ready or times and stuff like
I'll
that?
send one out to you.
send it over to
I'll
Garen so
send one out.
he can push that out for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Then probably just send it right to the council to Garen and the council so that way we can get it put up. Sound good, Garen?
Yep.
All right. Is that all you had, Tonka, then, or what?
Thank you.
Okay,
That's all I had.
all right,
Thank
yeah,
you.
later, have a good day. Okay, moving on into number 3, Last Bear Moon.
500. Lori's out.
Yep. 500. Lorelai's out. All right, we have Garen here for Last Bear Moon Committee.
Morning,
Where's
Council.
yours, Garen?
Okay, I just needed permission to see what direction what the council wanted to go for Last Bear Moon this year. And, or it would be in 2025, February. I think the date is that last Saturday in February. And in the past, we kind of had a committee. That committee was responsible for putting forth a budget and working with Winnebago and head staff, and then also running that day's events and stuff. So it would be up to the council on that. I didn't want to kind of start fundraising or asking people or meeting with Winnebago without the council's permission on see what direction you guys wanted to go.
Okay, that sounds good.
I have a comment.
Lorelai.
And thank you for the last Bear Moon Powwow. All this many years of work on it. Appreciate that, and whoever's been on the committee. But I noticed right off the bat after I got on this council that it generates a lot of revenue for our casino. So I like that. But I think that we should advertise I think who you have on there, the GM and the rep from the tribal council, and yourself, because you keep communications going. But I think we should advertise those 3 tribal member positions and give some other tribal members a chance to be on this powwow committee. And in the meantime, the council could approve you soliciting the committee to be soliciting while we're advertising for those 3. So then when you could get your fundraising out there, and then we see, and these 3 people on here are welcome to reapply.
Okay.
But we should give some other tribal members a chance to be a part of this history. So that's just my thought.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, council, you guys got anything else? Any other comments?
Question, what was the price for last year's powwow?
We submitted a budget, and what happened is, so Winnebago uses it as a concert, kind of like for their marketing, so that events and stuff. I did talk to the GM. He said last year they had some technical issues this past summer. He couldn't pull up the books and stuff, software issues. So, but he told me he didn't have the money to probably do the same amount. So we're kind of, if that's the case, it would be more of a local kind of powwow. The interstate, the exit right there kind of took a hit to the revenues. And then also he just kind of told me straight up. So it might look a little different this year if you guys do decide to have a powwow. It won't be as big as previous years.
You never know who's going to show up, though.
Right.
So what was the budget?
I want to say it was 50,000. Yeah, and that's like a Saturday night concert. That's what you're bringing in for a booking act and stuff like that too. So, yeah.
Okay, just so we kind of have some kind of foresight down the road, so when you do start putting things together, if it comes in higher or lower, we'll kind of have an idea at 50 of where we're going to be sitting at.
Yeah.
So
Your rooms are booked. Their food is flying off the shelves. It's just, we actually outgrew the venue. There's so many people that come in and stuff. And then I don't know what it equates to the slot floor and stuff like that, but.
We made money.
I made money.
tell them we want some crab legs there too. That's all I got.
So is the council okay with advertising those 3 tribal member positions? Give some other tribal members a chance to serve on this committee? Because these guys been on there all these years and no other tribal members got a chance to experience that.
How many total is there?
There's 6, but the GM and a member from the council and Garen's head of communications are on there, and we need them on there. But I think the 3 tribal member seats, we should give some other tribal members the opportunity to be a part of this committee. And also approve their soliciting funds now.
Well, I don't see a problem in that, but we better get that done more sooner than later because we don't want to be waiting.
Let's do the motion. Let's do the motion.
Make the motion.
You're making it?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 last Bear Moon Powwow and the committee to remain the communications director, the Winnebago GM, and the representative from the tribal council. And then the 3 seats for tribal members be re-advertised. Although those that are already on there can reapply, but we should give other tribal members a chance to serve on that committee and approve them to go ahead and start soliciting to raise money for the powwow.
Second.
Good.
Damn, that's a long motion. Did you get all that?
And I'm getting there.
He's really
Motion
good.
to approve
He's really
the
fast.
2025 Last Bear Moon Powwow Committee appointing the 3 representatives. I'll get that typed in there. And re-advertise the 3 seats of tribal members and approve them to start soliciting.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to have that last
Second by
part be
Eric.
a separate vote.
Okay.
What's up?
I see nothing wrong with why why change it if it isn't broke? As
Okay.
far as commission.
So there's a motion and a second, and you're making another motion on top of that while we're in discussion, right? According to Robert's
No, I
rules,
didn't
that
make a
would be,
motion.
oh,
I
okay.
just threw it out for discussion, and I'd like to see it broken down into two different motions. The first one, and then the second one, that advertise for another 3 commission members.
It'd be cleaner in the minutes. If that's what you guys, are you guys okay with that? You see what he's saying, talking about taking the second part of that?
We want to approve the powwow, but then the other one, motion would to approve that change in that committee.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So then,
So the motion is to approve the 2025 Last Bear Moon powwow.
Yes.
at $50,000.
No. It may be scaled down, but they also can solicit for funds
So Lorelei motions to approve the 2025 Last Bear Moon Powwow
and approve them to solicit for funds.
and approve to solicit
Are you okay with that, Dusty?
funds. Second by Eric.
Yep. Okay, so anybody oppose? Any abstentions here? None, motion carried on that one. Then the next
That was
part.
fast.
Let's speak up. Not trying to order lunch today.
So are you gonna do the next motion?
Save money here. You guys talking about saving money, shit. What are you
Are you gonna
here?
do the next motion or do you want somebody else?
And then what was your motion, Kenny?
No, I didn't make a motion. I just would like it to see a separate motion. I don't necessarily want to.
You could go ahead and put that in there so we can copy
I
it.
make a motion that we add, no. Unless it would be to leave the committee the same.
Well, then I'll make a motion to advertise the 3 tribal member seats, giving other tribal members an opportunity to serve. But we maintain the communications director, the GM, and the tribal council member on the
Just
committee
put
for 30
motion to
days.
advertise the 3 tribal member seats and maintain
Communications, GM, and tribal council member.
30 days, will that be enough time?
While you're
That'll be enough
soliciting.
time, but I think we're kind of behind, you know what I mean? Like we need to,
2 weeks, advertise for 2.
it's on field if possible, but 2 weeks for sure, I guess. Is that-
Okay,
and advertise.
for 2 weeks.
It is,
What's the date on Last Bear Moon powwow?
Last Saturday in
February.
Yeah, we got
Regular will
time.
be November, hold on.
It would be
November
February
4th.
22nd.
We got time.
next regular tribal council meeting is November 4th.
So it needs a close on the 1st to be on a regular meeting.
Okay.
Day or days?
So Lorelei made a second motion, because we took that first one apart.
Lorelei motion to advertise the 3 tribal member seats and maintain communications, general manager, and tribal council representative. And advertise for 2 weeks.
Is there a second?
second.
Second by Eric. Anybody oppose?
I'm opposed. I just don't think it's fair to just remove those people for doing a good job for the sake of letting somebody else on there.
Okay, so let the minutes reflect that Kenny opposes. Anybody else oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. 1, 2, 3,
Hang in
4,
there.
5.
It'll be good. However we end up, it'll be good.
Yep. Are we good?
Yep,
These
What?
members, they can reapply though, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I got it.
Who's gonna advertise?
There we should.
Maybe we should.
Is Tyrese on? Tyrese, did you hear what they signed you up for?
Should just get on.
I don't think she has a mic, but just to clarify, so it's advertising for 2 weeks, right?
Yes,
The 3 tribal member seats.
yes.
Okay, got it.
You go ahead, crab leg, Isaac's buying.
Yeah, yeah. Can we get a motion to go in a portfolio and buy everybody mics? No. All right. Mics and cameras. I want to see shiny little ho-chunk faces all over. See how your eyes are. They're bloodshot or not. Moving on to, is there anything else for that topic then? No? Hearing none? All right.
This one's me.
Thanks, Karen, for presenting that and bringing that up to the council and trying to get ahead of the ball. But also keep things rolling. It's always enjoyable to see all those relatives come in there. I know the casino enjoys a lot of that stuff. At first, when it first started off, the casino was kind of hesitant on what that would look like in the numbers, and then they got to see that. And then the way it was advertised and pushed out and through the Powwow circuit, a lot of people attended. One of the discussions was talking about maybe moving it to like Tyson and stuff like that, but it would be pulling that money from the casino again. I mean, we want them all at the casino, so something that we need to think about is how does that look like because of the weather if we was to go bigger or either just go home. That's one of the things. So, but thank you. We're moving on to human services request. Is that where we're at?
Yes, me school.
Is Give Me School online?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay,
That's on.
Oh, go ahead.
good. Floor is yours.
Okay, Human Services is requesting to change the guidelines for the tribal appropriations from 250% to 300%. We've seen
That's not the request.
increase in need. Yet a lot of the applications don't meet the income guidelines, and so we're about ready to do denial for about a dozen applications, and looking at the guidelines, 250% serves us well, but at the same time, inflation has affected many people, and we do have like more of a middle class, I believe, with with the community, but they still need help too as well. So
Yeah. Me school, that's not what I had. Sorry.
we could, it just said you.
This is for your request for the community meal event.
Oh, okay.
I
I'll do that.
didn't appropriations one on this one.
All right, we'll do that one next time. Well, then what's the community meal? I think all I was asking for was to request the casino to assist us the same way they did last year.
Yeah. Permission to solicit Winnebago's
Yes.
Casino for assistance for the community meal.
Make that motion.
Wait, now I have a comment. Ms. Gu, last year when you came forward with this, I asked you why you don't budget for this. Because as the year goes by, we see tribal programs nickeling and diming our casino. And so I asked you last year, why don't you budget for this? You know you're going to have this dinner. And so, and right now our casino's taking hits. First, we had a cyber event. Now we got exit closures at Sloan. And the casino's trying to survive and operate. And so as tribal programs, I mean, why can't you budget for this? I asked you a year ago.
I think the reason why we're asking is because the event typically has been like a collaboration from all the community. And we want to reflect that in what we're doing, but I think we don't need the assistance from the casino. We can do the meal without it. And so I guess we're just copying the past patterns of our department, And so, yeah, we don't need any assistance from the casino at all. We can do it. It's totally feasible. And so I didn't think the casino was in that situation, but I guess with the traffic and stuff, yeah, I could see that. So I can retract my request and yeah, we could figure out, I think it was water, like we can figure out a way to do it. We can do it. So I retract my request for assistance from soliciting the casino.
So we already have a motion on the table. And then, so it's supposed to go motion, second, then discussion, but this is where we're at today. Motion, and then we went into Lorelai's discussion. So there isn't a second on that motion. I'm just gonna call to try to finish this out. Is there a second on that motion that Coley made? Just to try to keep us on track.
I'll second.
What was the motion?
Holy motion to approve the request to solicit from Winnebago's Casino for assistance with the community meal event on November 22nd.
At least to see what if they can do anything.
Okay.
$100 is.
It says pies, paper products, and gravy.
Okay, so,
Whatever they can provide.
It's just a permission to ask.
all right, so Coley made a motion and did you second
I'll
it?
second, yeah.
Okay, so Teresa is in a second. Is there anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. There you go, Muscu. So go hit up one of Vegas. Don't get carried away though.
Well, can I just make another comment, please?
Discussion.
Ms. Koo, I wish that this was on the agenda, so do we have to do like a, what's that motion we gotta make to suspend the rules? That going to 300% is so needed by many of our families. Our families have two parents working and they're still struggling because the cost of gas went up, the cost of inflation went up, and sometimes they need additional help. So I wanna see that approved to 300%. Their guidelines.
Linnell?
Council, my office is reviewing all of the department's policies right now. And I did discuss with Ms. Lu last week to refrain from changing any of the policy or guidelines right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So
But it got to us and I read it and I thought, this is good. We need to do this.
Yeah.
So it got to us already.
It's just, I want to put a temporary hold on changing anything right now while our office is reviewing, their department policies.
Okay.
Ooh, you guys are under review. You better tighten that ship up down there. So, all right.
Okay. Thank you.
So thanks, Muscu, for bringing that to the table and continuing on to try to make a community meal on behalf of some of our most hungriest tribal members. I know that's a good time. Some of them look forward to coming down and eating, and then the camaraderie and just the feeling that it kind of brings that day and that moment, you know, it's something that we all kind of enjoy, those that are able to attend those events like that. So I want to say thank you on behalf of your department. I also know there's a lot of work behind the scenes, the logistics and putting up with each other in such of a short moment on trying to get everything there on time. So I know that it takes a lot to feed a community, you know, and so I'm glad that all your staff kind of got the hang of it and they're able to kind of know their place and their role in that. So look forward to that, and I hope it's not just a real little cheesy meal either on something Indians like to eat. You know, so
Hey.
Cheesy.
oh, okay, there we go. So well, that's all we got. Does the table have anything else for Muscu before he leaves?
I want to say thank you for bringing the whole community together at that time too, to feed everybody, and it's always enjoyable to see all the smiles. Thanks for this program.
The talk is on here that we need cheese.
Okay. All right. We will move on.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to the next thing is that on that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It says number 6 on your guys' agenda. but it moved to number 7. 2025 Self-Governance Conference, Tribal Self-Governance. And I believe this is a motion for approval to travel
Yeah, for tribal council.
for tribal council, and it looks like it's in Arizona, April 7th through the 10th. Hottest part of the time to be down there.
Make that
You
motion.
went last year, did you?
No, I went to the year before, I think. Okay, so Eric made a motion to approve travel for self-governance 2025 to Arizona for the tribal council. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by rock, paper, scissors, guys. Who's got it?
Kenny.
Kenny. Oh, yeah. All right. So second by Choka Kenny over there. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Motion carried. Moving on to number 8, right?
Yeah.
And that would be Shiana Line. Sunshines. Okay, Sunshine. The floor is yours. Do you want to bring the council up to speed while I'm passing these? I had the law stuff, the permitting stuff that you sent. I'm gonna pass these off. If you want to just brief them on.
Any view, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I was looking at the current fees. I know that we had talked about it, Isaac and I think it had been brought up in a council meeting before. In the code, the fee is $100 for the typical application. And $200 is the fine if you don't file the application. So we currently have a couple projects that are going that haven't filed the application currently in town. There's no teeth to the, the application fee and no teeth to the fine. People are just like, oh, that's $100. We don't really care about that. So I was hoping to be able to raise the fee up to $500 for the filing fee. And then I would like to do a sort of 3-strike system, which would be the first offense would be 1,000, second is 2,000, and third and up is 3,000. I think that with some of these entities, the only thing that really talks is money. And no one really wants to be paying that amount of money for not filing a fee, filing for the civil application. So that was what I had. I had sent the page of the code permit fees to Isaac this morning. Is that what you handed out?
Yep. So one of the things is just to kind of help it out a little bit is Sunshine usually goes for those that aren't up to date on what a part of her job is. She'll go out where if we want to say we're going to build something or if something's going to be built within the exterior boundaries of the reservation, she goes out and clears it to make sure that there isn't no graves there or any historical things that take place or artifacts there. And then once she clears that, then they can go ahead and start the construction on it. A lot of times it's the tribe's projects that are doing this themselves, and then sometimes it's outside entities that are got clearance to build stuff there, but they're not following a part of the process. So with that $100, they're kind of taking her department as kind of like a joke, $100 to fill out the application. So she wants to turn that up to $500 to fill out the application, which would help her. And then if those of you that aren't up to date on some of the projects that the Angel Decora Museum faces is some of their building maintenance and so on and so forth, they can always use a little bit more funding. As you remember back in the ARPA discussions, there was supposed to be a part of that was supposed to be a museum was supposed to be put in place so we could bring a lot of these other artifacts home that we're being notified of and be able to have a climate control building. That didn't happen, so she's trying to find ways to bring in a little bit more funding, but also have her job taken seriously because if we're out there and putting these construction sites on certain areas and we do come across bones, and that's very disrespectful, not only to all the ancestors and to the family that it comes from, but to have them take it a little bit more serious. So she's working on, what sites are you currently working on? The one by the,
So the sites that I'm currently monitoring are the 2 construction sites that you see along the highway. The one that is to the left though in HCI, the HCI Village, that's one of the ones that I haven't heard from or a application having been filled out. I know that I reached out to the person and hadn't heard back on that. There are multiple homes going up in different areas, so I also check those. Anything where there's ground disturbance within the exterior boundaries is what I go to look at, and I also monitor it since we don't have a tribal monitor as they're digging.
Question, when you check that ground, what do you check the ground with to make sure there's no graves, or do you have a GPR?
I have one GPR. I was trying to get another one last month, and I don't think I got approved. But yeah, we have a GPR system, and I also do pedestrian walkthroughs.
All right, thank you.
I have a question, Isaac.
go ahead, Rona.
Okay, so just in meeting, with Sunshine a few times and then going through some of this stuff and all the projects that are coming up, who does this live with and notifying people even before it's done? So I know Ron Nor kind of helps out when the contractors come in and he reviews, the RFPs and, the different bids, and then he notifies them of the tax. At what point do you guys get involved? Yeah. So what are you doing on your part to make sure that it's put out there that that's part of your job or that's part of the tribe's code process? We could have more information out there so that people are more knowledgeable of what you do and what's sacred to us.
I believe we have put it in the paper before. We have posted it multiple times, and we had come to an agreement, I think that was this past spring or summer, that they would notify them at HCI, the builders. So Madonna lets everybody know that this is a part of the process. IHS lets them know that this is a part of the process, one of the first steps actually. Because if you can't build there, because there's something found there, then there's no point in moving forward. So my step is one of the first steps that should be made. We did have a meeting, I think, with IHS and Physical Resources and letting them know the builders or people that come in. But I usually hear from Ron, and he's really good about letting me know. And once in a while I will hear from, so one of the people or some of the entities that I have issues with are like, utility companies where they come into the reservation and they don't let me know. And I think a while back, like Brandon seen some on his way in, he's seen some digging, so I had to go out there. So I can't be everywhere at once as well. I have a lot of work is and 4 different job titles. So I just try to be everywhere at once and do everything else.
Okay.
So it's a code revision, right?
Use the mic.
So one thing I would suggest on Sunshine's part is she needs to have good communication with BIA, because BIA gets all the notifications on any maintenance utility updates. Because they're the ones who have to send the notices to BIA because they're on those allotments. They don't ever send the notices to the tribe for whatever reason. It always goes to BIA first.
Yeah, that's what it says. Must obtain a BIA project number, right?
Okay. So,
A little more communication.
So get a hold of, who is it at the BIA?
The right of way is, I think it's Deidre Papan, but if she goes through, Monica Flores, she'll get something right away.
Okay, so check with Monica.
And
Just,
Monica is aware as well of this stuff.
okay.
I can always talk to her again, but, she knows about the FIPO process.
Right, just send her, I guess, just to CYA, send her an email, but CC the council in it, just so, and then that's coming right from right now, this meeting. So that way it's kind of we'll just tighten that up and see if there's if she responds, that'll be good. If she doesn't, that's okay. But at least we can say that Sunshine did try to reach out to the BIA and shows it. Use the mic.
No, just another question though, so on there, because the IHS, well, not IHS, but it would be mainly, the tribal members building, are they having to pay that 500? Because that would go automatically to their mortgage payment portion of it. It'd be an addition.
For a house, you mean?
Yeah.
So,
Madonna said that, I mean, not Madonna, but Ruth said that that would be IHS responsibility, which is in their steps, the thing that we filled out.
No, IHS don't pay for TIPO or administrative fees no more. They include it on a different portion. So the tribe is the one who has to pay the 500 or the individual itself.
so it'd be kind of, so that's where we come off the truck a little bit off the rails there, because we're putting another expense onto the tribal members.
Yeah.
So with that discussion being brought up, now is
More
there,
research needs to be done.
is there, can we go this route, trying to bring a solution to the problem? Is that we have it to where there's a commercial grade, so if it's not a home, somehow, how do we word this? If it's not a house, if it's not a tribal member's house, the process still has to be followed, but the fee for a tribal member's house is $100. And then anything outside of that, if it's not a home and it's a, say, even if it was a shed, you know, because sheds can be deemed pretty damn big. I mean, you can get a 40 by 40 shed and still call it a shed, and it's basically a shop. It's a Morton building. But then that's where the 500 would come in. Because I guess I understand what the table's concern is. We don't want to put more on top of the tribal members when they're trying to build houses. What do you think about that, Sunshine? What's your thoughts?
So like a-
I'm looking at this, paperwork, yeah, I'm fine with
You're
that.
trying to
If
say like a
the,
residential fee and a
for these
commercial fee?
fees and the fine, it would be for larger entities and not home builders, correct?
Well, that's a part of it. So it would be,
Residential fee and a commercial fee.
yeah, residential fee and a commercial fee would be the simplest way of saying it.
A tribal member residential fee.
There you go. Now we're thinking.
So this is all out of the code, and I think it should go like with Barb
Oh,
and
we're not gonna get it done then.
Sunshine, and I mean, if Sunshine has stuff that she wants to see changed in the code, prepare it.
Have her get with Barb
Yeah.
and put a
Just
deadline
prepare
on
it for Barb.
If it's already on that paper, she'll just have to present it to Barb and then make those changes, and then it goes to legal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Well, it really doesn't have to go to Barb. She's just there to monitor any code changes. So Sunshine, you can just draft the code as you see fit, or that'll work for the program. Include Barb so she has a copy, and then it just needs to be reviewed by legal.
And it'll come to us in a resolution that we adopt.
Yes.
So it will get done then.
Yeah.
As
Yes.
long as we don't say, here, Barb, do this. And I'm not saying anything against Barb. What I'm saying is that Barb's plate's
Full
full
plate.
as it is. And then we're gonna, and so we just keep piling and piling. And so it doesn't get done because it's at the bottom of the thing. So just so she can make changes in her notes too. So then, are we clear as mud, I guess?
Are we gonna need a motion on this?
No,
Okay.
well, there's a process.
Follow the process that's put in place for changing the code.
So then did you get all that, Sunshine? Just draft up a version of that for the commercial and
Residential.
tribal
Tribal
residential?
residential.
things, and then we'll have legal look at it, and then the next legal meeting is, I'm trying to hotline this item, guys.
If she
Next
has it
meeting
done.
is going to be that we meet with legal would be,
November,
actually, I think they would be sitting in on the 28th. November, what do you got?
For general,
Yeah,
November 20th. But the CEO reports on the 13th.
no, next general council is November 20th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can, add that into November 20th, Sunshine,
Okay.
we'll just, reach out to Denal and then ask her if that can be added on there, but, just CC me in there or the council, doesn't matter. And we'll just, I'm just trying to, this is just a simple thing. We can get this off the plate is what I'm saying, council. So in the big world, they call it hotline bling. So, all right, Sunshine, I guess we got a little bit farther down the road. I was hoping that we could get even farther and take a big step today, but with a bunch of little steps becomes a big step, I guess. As long as it's in the right direction. So we tried a little bit more, so, but yeah, just, we'll put it on there November 20th, General Council.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so that was number 8 item, and I believe we are,
Next was that laserfish scope of work.
old business laserfish scope of work. I have no clue about what that is.
how about a 5-minute?
Okay, Lorelai, you want a 5-minute?
Yeah.
This? Is
Yeah.
Mark on? Mark, is that your item, that laserfish stuff?
Yeah, that's that document management platform. We talked about that, I think, a couple weeks ago, trying to get approval to bring a business from Omaha here to give us a quote.
Okay,
for scanning service.
let me jump in here real quick. The council wants to do a 5 minutes, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
And then we'll jump into your item, so you'll be up next, so you could double check everything and make sure we're all good.
Sounds good, thank you.
Okay.
All right. So 5 minutes, it's 10:32, 5-minute break or recess. Okay. All right, Mark. Sound check.
Hello.
All right, we can hear you loud and clear. The floor is yours.
All right, good morning, council. So we are just requesting that we, are able to bring in a company to do, some quoting for us. And basically what it would amount to is their, Laserfish is a document management platform that we use to store, documents. Allow us to kind of organize them, manage them. And, they would also quote, scanning services as well for all the, paper documents that we have.
Okay, I guess one of the concerns from the last time that I heard this discussion was the concern from the table was just making sure that none of our information is used for anything or either released to anybody and that they don't keep copies of it. I know that kind of raises some security concerns as far as the history of the tribe and some of the strategic planning moving forward. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
oh, sorry, Isaac. Did you guys get there should have been a scope of work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I try to cover all the bases in that scope of work to make sure that everything's retained and secure, when they come to a walkthrough.
Okay.
I just have a question.
All right. Lorelai has a question.
Mark, this contract, where are the funds coming? Are you budgeted for it?
We did some budgeting for the licenses for the Laserfish document management platform. There may be some funds for the scanning services, but I don't know that we have enough for the scanning services, but, or if that would be covered with different departments and not just planning. So that piece, I don't.
Have funding for, possibly.
Yeah, possibly the scanning services.
Mark, this scope of work, is it just for the quote, to get the quote?
Yeah, just to get the quote.
And then I guess one other thing too, Mark, is that Ron Knorr has a bunch of floor plans in his office, and they're kind of a larger scale, but maybe like 3 by 3. I believe some of them are like 5 feet by 3 feet long. But if there was a way to actually get those uploaded too, I know that's something that some of the people were working on in the past, and we've used that at certain times. We've used some of the summer youth to be able to do that, but again, speaking on behalf of the summer youth, that wasn't very educational, and they didn't really learn anything other than to hit scan on a printer. And so if it's to empower the youth with their employment, having them scan documents isn't very useful of that time.
Yeah, and I could see this kind of starting out maybe small, and maybe we look at the various documents, various sizes, the condition, and maybe we start with a smaller batch and we grow into it, just depending on what the quote is going to be. If it's something that's deemed too expensive, and maybe we take a slower approach. But I think just to come in and actually get a quote for those would be beneficial.
Okay, so you just want to have them come in and basically give us a quote, and that's all you're asking permission for today?
Yep, for today, yep.
Okay, how's the table wish to proceed?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the request for the quotes for this service.
Okay, so Lorelai is making a motion, second by Eric. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. There you go, Mark.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, council.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thanks for your time.
Yep. Okay, and then is there anything else for old business?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Does that leave us going into the LaDonna? Okay, LaDonna, you're up. Tribal council items, LaDonna with Motherhood is Sacred fundraising and match request. Number 1.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
First, we'd like to talk about our new project. We're going to be in the school teaching the 5th and 6th grade motherhood and fatherhood is sacred. That's going to be starting soon as we get that check. And that'll address a lot of the issues that we have in the school that haven't been addressed as far as bullying, teen pregnancy, abstinence, our culture, our history before 1492, stories that we have to share with our kids that haven't been done to this day. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, we're been raising funds and seeking other sponsors for our conference. So what we're raising funds now for is the ones that are going to be attending the conference per diem. So that's what this is. We got 750 so far, but we're still having 2 more before we leave. We're asking for a 750 match.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve. They followed the policy on seeking donations. They provided their fundraising, proof of their fundraising, and they're asking for a donation match up to $750. So I'll make a motion to approve the match out of Tribal Council donations.
Okay, so Lorelei made a motion, second by Kenny, to approve the 750 in matching funds. Is there any objections? Anybody opposed? Hearing none, carried, motion carried.
Have a safe trip.
Yeah. Thank you.
You guys will come back with good things for our tribal members.
Yeah, and we're also going to try to tour the San Carlos school. They're already doing fatherhood and motherhood since 2020. And that lady that's heading that, she used to be married to Gary Beaver. So she's kind of got a little special feeling for us coming, and she's going to be doing a breakout at the session, so we'll get a lot of pointers there.
When you guys get back from there, see if you can just give us an update on what it is.
Yeah.
That's
And
always
as their
helpful.
school packet goes along too, we'll update you on that.
Okay.
Okay,
I,
thank you.
I think
Council.
real quick, I just think that bullying alone will be worth its weight, in gold, because a lot of the mass shootings, that's where it starts at, is bullying, and hopefully we can nip that in the butt so it doesn't come around here. And so maybe at the end of the school year, you can come back and give us an update with some numbers on what you dealt with and how you did it, what you'll be looking at for the following year.
Yeah. We've been in contact with both Superintendent Turner and Superintendent Vickery. So as soon as we get our check, then we want to meet with the 5th and 6th grade teachers. There's 3 5th grade classes and 2 6th grade classes to, make sure. And plus, we'll have some other input from the San Carlos school. So we'll be the 2nd school.
Okay,
throughout
so
the United
that's
States.
the other superintendent you mentioned was St.
Is,
Augustine?
5 through 8.
Principal.
Oh, is the
Principal.
principal, okay.
Okay.
Have you checked anything with St. Augustine's?
No, because right now we're kind of small,
Okay,
but yeah, hopefully, eventually.
so once you get all the bugs ironed out, maybe start checking into St. Augustine's too, because
Yep.
I know every school's got that where they have kids that get into that behavior of bullying, and a lot of it starts at home of what they're seeing in the homes and how people are being treated in their own homes, and that offsets them, and so they take that to school and then find somebody else to pick on because they watch somebody get picked on in their own home. So
Exactly. So, and then we're still going to be we're going to be trying to target the 5th and 6th grade parents to
Okay.
ask them anyway too. So we should have some really good, at least change of attitude, which would be huge.
So
So, yeah, we'll keep you posted, and we're kind of real excited about this. I think it's, something different. We haven't done anything different, so how is anything gonna change?
okay, so you're gonna have to link up with when she gets done with the minutes and everything, so that way we know that it comes out of donations and all that stuff, just the follow-up side of it, because soon as something's done here, our finance team doesn't automatically know about it, so
Okay.
if you go down there asking ahead of time, they're probably gonna say, what are you talking about? Just so,
We'll stay on it.
All right, well, just let us know how it goes when you guys get back and safe travels.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Phoenix will be hopping that week. That
Mason.
self-governance is that same week. A lot
Yeah,
of tribal members will be out there.
It's November.
Yeah.
November, over April.
Yeah.
Oh, it's April?
Self-governance.
They're gonna still be down there from November to April.
yep, you guys.
Executive session.
Okay, is there any executive session items? Does anybody
Yeah,
have-
there's one that we got late.
Okay, so, we have one, or do we want to take that and push that over
I was
to,
gonna say defer this to us because we helped them out.
You do have funds?
Yeah, we helped them out before.
Oh, okay.
so I gave that
So
to
that's
Irita.
Okay, so we're good. We don't even
No
have to.
executive?
All right, good one. Good one. Remember I brought
Executive.
that
Do
up.
you wanna
I
just
said,
keep
they have
this for your
money.
own?
I didn't give it.
Okay, and then, so that, I provided her with that request, and then she can do a follow-up, and then
Yeah.
just shoot us an email or whatever, just let us know, so that it's been taken care of.
Thank you, Irita.
All right, there's a motion to adjourn by Rona, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any discussion, any of you guys online got anything else, no? Tarisha?
Yeah, tough when I'm gone.
All right, hearing none, motion carried. We are adjourned at 10:54